Hey guys, this is Communications. I'm back with another Turbulence review, another crappy airplane, terrorist on a plane movie. Yeah, I'm planning on watching a few more of these, and then I'm probably going to be done with this genre, because this genre, like I said, is not one of my favorites. For some reason, I want to watch these movies. But anyway, heads up on the family emergency things. Things have worked out well. And everything's pretty much back to normal. I'm still my normal weird self, but things are pretty much back to normal now, which is good. And but yeah, let's get started, shall we, with this review of Turbulence 3 Heavy Metal. Turbulence 3 Heavy Metal is the third film in the Turbulence franchise. It's hard to believe it's even a franchise. It was released in 2001. It was direct-to-video, and it's directed by Jorge Montesi, who I don't believe he did that much after this, which he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, folks. You know, that's how important Jorge Montesi is to the world of cinema. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Let's see if I'm going to see if he has a see what he's directed, if anything else. It was written by Wade Furley. It's also it's got a 3.7 out of 10 on IMDb. What? It's known for Omen 4. What do you do with Omen 4? Wow. He directed Omen 4, The Awakening. Liar, Liar between father and daughter. Okay, it's not a sequel to Liar, Liar. I was like, what? Huh? He directed that movie. Well, I can safely say that Turbulence 3 is better than Omen 4, The Awakening. But, you know, a lot of movies are. Oh, he directed a lot of episodes of Captain Power. Okay. Directed some movie called Birds of Prey, which he also was in as an actor. Directed some episodes of the Something Is Out There TV series. It didn't last that long. TV movie Captain Power The Beginning. What? Huh? I think they just put all the Captain Power episodes, like the first 3 episodes or something, into one. That's what I think that is. Yeah, probably. Yeah. They directed Friday's Curse. Which I don't know what is Friday's Curse. Oh, it's Friday the 13th, the series. For some reason, IMDb lists Friday the 13th, the series as Friday's Curse. Doesn't make any sense. And he also directed Disney Presents The 100 Lives of Black Jack Savage. Yeah. See, that's Jorge Montesi and his exploits. He fucking directed Omen 4. Wow. I thought Dominic Offen and Jerkoff directed that. Oh yeah, he got fired. And then Jorge Montesi took over. Yeah, well, anyway. Probably want to hear my opinion thoughts on the movie. Here I am 4 minutes in. I haven't even really told you guys my thoughts on the film. Turbulence 3 is a bad movie. Okay, but it wasn't bad enough that it pissed me off. It wasn't so shitty that it made me angry. It was just one of those bad movies that is, you know, somewhat watchable, time waster for one time. I like the idea that it had of a heavy metal rocker being the lead in this type of movie. So the heavy metal rocker guy ends up being the hero and the one that has to land the plane. I didn't mind that idea. I just think in the execution of the film was really, really lame. It was very slow paced and boring at points. I had to do what I normally don't do when I watch these type of movies. I had to rent it. Yeah, because I thought I downloaded off VHD and it was fine, and it played fine for the first 40 minutes. Then the audio messed up, and then I had problems with the audio, so then the audio wasn't synced up with what with the actor's lips. So that's completely unwatchable when you have the audio messed up like that. So I'm like, great. So I look for a torrent. I can't find one with enough seeds. So that didn't work. So then I go to I'm trying to see if I find another way to download it. Doesn't work. So then I end up renting this fucking shitty movie for $4 on Amazon Prime. Yeah, $4 to rent Turbulence 3 is $4 way too much. Was it worth $4? Hell no, it wasn't worth $4. But, I wouldn't be opposed to owning this as part of that pack that Lionsgate released that had Turbulence 2. Because, I don't mind Turbulence 2, and then I get a few other movies too, like Corey Haim's Blown Away, which isn't the greatest thing either. But Turbulence 3, when I get right down to it, it's a lame direct-to-video, shitty, sequel with stock footage, bad acting, and a really piss-poor script. But for some reason, you have some really accomplished actors who decide to be in this movie, like Rucker Howard. Yeah, Rucker Howard's in this movie as the plane's pilot who was in on it with this plot, dealing with this devil worshiper guy who wants to crash the plane into eastern Kansas, some place called Stull, which is supposedly the most evil place in the world. Yeah, I'm not making this shit up. That's the script for you. And the gist of the movie is this. Wikipedia has this extremely long-ass fucking description, which is unneeded for this movie. The gist of Turbulence 3 is exactly this. Okay, the movie opens up with these fans of this band named the Slade Craven, who this heavy metal rocker named Slade Craven, who wears white makeup, trying to be like Marilyn Manson, mixed with a little bit of Paul Stanley from Kiss. And he goes in, and you have this little bit of a music video in the beginning, on the opening credits, where he starts singing the song Razor Electric. And I don't mind the song. I really think the music in Turbulence 3 is some of the best things about the movie. Actually, if you like heavy metal music, you'll probably like the music that's in this film. I really don't think it's bad. Gun Love is not a bad song. You actually have a music video with that song. It's not a bad song. And I like Razor Electric. I wish I could find a longer, full version of that song. And so, basically the whole gist of this film is this crazy idea that Slade Craven's going to play one last gig in a passenger airline. He's invited special guests and fans to come on board the plane and watch the performance. It's going to be one big party. And there's this web TV photographers, filmmakers that are there that are trying to set up this web TV show, which is, they have this cameraman and this hostess played by Gabrielle Anwar, and she's looking as drop dead. No, that's not Gabrielle Anwar. It's Monika Schnarre, Erica Black, Monika Schnarre. Gabrielle Anwar is the fucking terrible actress who's fucking awful in this movie. I'll get to her soon enough. But Monika Schnarre, or I don't fucking know how to pronounce her last name, Monika Schnarre, and Schnarre, or whatever the fuck. And so she's looking drop dead gorgeous in the leather, skin tight leather, and she basically is the host of this web TV show, which they have a cameraman who's going to record the whole concert for web TV show. So it's like internet, people on the internet go online and watch Slade Craven's last performance, and are supposed to get a bunch of followers or whatever. And that'll help it make money or something. Everybody that watches the website, the traffic helps make them money for the company, the web TV company that's running, that's, creating this show. And I didn't mind the sort of point of view, sort of camera work in the beginning of the movie. So they get on the plane, they start playing the set, the fans get to see, all excited. They literally do find a way to build a whole stage inside a plane, which I don't know about that. In like the passenger bay, cargo bay, or some shit. And then what happens is basically this is pretty much the twist. Slade Craven gets knocked out by some other guy who impersonates him, and it makes you believe that Slade Craven has lost it and is shot the pilot. And the co-pilot is actually Rucker Howard. The real pilot gets shot by the Slade Craven imposter. And you have a scene where the people on the plane, the fans try to stop him. But then you find out Monika Schnarre, Erica Black is actually in on it too. And then you have stuff you cut back and forth from the stuff that's going on the plane to some FBI agents. One of them played by Jon Mantegna. Yeah, he's slumming it in this movie, just like Rucker Howard. And then you have Craig Sheffer, who played the main character, the lead character in Turbulence 2. Here he is in Turbulence 3, but he's not playing the same character. He's playing a completely different character, some hacker named Nick Watts. And I'm like, how often do you see this, folks? Where you have an actor who comes back for the next film in a film franchise, and he was in the previous film as a lead, and he comes back in the third movie playing a completely different character. How often does that happen? Not very often. You know why it's a rare occurrence? Because it's fucking stupid. It's a stupid idea. It's dumb. Why are you casting the same actor and not having him play the same role? What? I don't care. I'd rather have had some BS reason why Martin from the second movie became a hacker, rather than have Craig Sheffer try to do his best to be a completely different character, which is not, you don't buy at all, but you're just like, what is Craig, what, this is a different character? Like, what? It'd be like if you had a Die Hard sequel, and you had Bruce Willis in it, but he wasn't playing John McClane. It makes no goddamn sense. I don't get it. It's stupid, and it's just really strange. You could have easily casted somebody else as the hacker then. Like, what the fuck? Is with the casting Craig Sheffer is a completely different character than the character that he played in the second movie. But he does the best of what he can here. But he's a hacker who basically, the majority of the film, Craig Sheffer is just sitting in his chair dealing with Gabrielle Anwar as this FBI agent, Kate Hayden, who is... She's not one note, okay? One note acting would be kind, okay? That would mean that she actually had talent and actually knew how to do anything. She's a no-note actress. She doesn't hit a single note. She's flat as a fucking board. She has no emotion. She's emotionless, zero. Like, she has an emotion scale of 0. Just a flat board. And just really, 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 really hard to watch this actress try to act and do her best with this role, because it's just, she's out of place. She doesn't fit this type of role as an FBI agent. She shows no emotion. She just is lazy, just like, I'm here for a paycheck. Okay, alright, what do you want me to do? Alright, okay, Nick, okay, alright. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna help Slade land the plane? It's really, really bad. Really bad. The only time I thought she showed any emotion is when she's ready to get something. They're ready to get some. Like, the twist at the end, it looks like she's going to arrest Nick after all this stuff that he's done to help her. And she's like, oh, you hungry still? The only time she showed any emotion is when she knew that she was going to get laid. Come on. What is this, a porno actress? Maybe she is. I have no idea. I'm not familiar with Gabrielle Anwar and her acting or her repertoire. But yeah, really, she was fucking miserable in this movie. And she really did not help the film. You know, it's a boring movie anyway. And you have this actress who doesn't give a shit and has a voice to put you to sleep. And she has no personality, so that really doesn't help matters either. And when Craig Sheffer has anything to say, it's usually really corny or stupid. Like when he finds out he's got to help Slade Craven out, because you find out that the imposter guy just knocked out Slade Craven. So he's still alive. So the whole idea now is that Craig Sheffer's going to talk to the real rocker, the real Slade Craven, and help him, try to save the plane. Which I actually like that idea. I like the idea of a heavy metal rocker in the lead role as the lead in this type of movie. It's absurd, it's silly, it's off the wall, and it's strange. That's this movie. It's a really wild, and crazy idea. But it doesn't go as far with it as it probably could. And I think the whole shit with the FBI agent and the hacker guy on the ground and dealing with the FBI, is unneeded, and it's just an excuse to give Craig Sheffer another paycheck, or Gabrielle Anwar, or Joe Mantegna. And I really think it should have just stayed on the plane. This is one instance of a film where I think it really should have stayed on the plane and just dealt with Craven. You could find out that for some, reason that he was actually an ex-military guy. It doesn't matter. He could get out, they got discharged in the military, and decided he wanted to be a rocker. That's fine with me. I mean, I think that's kind of what was going on with Dolph Lundgren's movie he did. Which I swear to God, what the hell's the name of that movie where he played the rocker with the drumsticks, and that's so lame. I can't believe I forgot the name of that movie. Excuse me while I look it up. Like, really? Damn it. I like that movie too. Command Performance. So, like, its character in Command Performance. I think he was an ex-military guy, or if he was a bodyguard or some sort. But it makes it. Hey, it's a movie. Who cares? And then you have him heavy metal rocker guy, kicking ass and taking names, and saving the day. I don't mind that, and I actually don't mind the actor Jon Mann. I really don't mind the actor because I really thought he cared about his performance. He was genuinely having fun with the role, and he really was sincere about it, and he was a likable guy. He really was a likable guy, Jon Mann as Slade Craven, and that was really cool to see that. And so he decides that the whole rest of the film is basically dealing with Nick. And, Craig Sheffer and Gabrielle Anwar and Nick is trying to help out Slade Craven, acting like his biggest fan. Oh, man, like, this is so awesome. I'm like your biggest fan, man. It's just like, really, who cares? Joe Mantegna, like, oh, don't do that. Don't work with that hacker. That's not safe. Well, we can't land the plane. We're going to use a flight simulator with Slade Craven and the Nick and Craig Sheffer to land the plane. Don't do that. That's not what wait for the pilot. It's just basically Joe Mantegna on a phone with just getting, paid money just for talking on a cell phone. Just to have a name in the credits. So then the whole ridiculousness of the plot kicks in, or the whole idea, because Monika Schnarre, she is part of it. Gabrielle Anwar and Craig Sheffer, they decide to do some research on a computer, and they find this website that they found out the true identity of the Slade Craven imposter guy, and basically, and so they find out that he's a devil worshiper, that he's in on it with this cult. This cult that, that there's this church of the satanic cult. The bad guy, is Simon, who is also played by Mann, which is funny, who is voiced by Brian Dobson. So it is the same guy. It's the same character, same actor who plays Slade Craven. The real Slade Craven and the fake Slade Craven. And so, Kate and Nick use Nick's equipment to figure out who the hostage taker is, and later find out that he's not the real Slade Craven, but an imposter named Simon Flanders, who is also played by Mann, Flanders. It is revealed that he was an anonymous person who cornered Craven and abducted him by tying him up and locking him in a room in the hard cargo hold, and the room inexplicably has a computer in it. Because, hey, we need a way for Slade to communicate with Craig Sheffer. And so then they find more information that Simon is a member of a satanic cult called Guardians of the Gateway. Not Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Gateway, who see themselves as the vanguard of the Antichrist who will rule the next millennium. And he learns that Simon was previously suspected of murder and charged with 5 counts of arson, with all the charges dropped due to insufficient evidence. And then the plane strays off its normal flight path and is heading towards Stoll, Kansas, because there's a small church there that Simon and his accomplices from the cult plan to crash the airplane in, because they believe that Satan will be released by the crash. Nick checks the internet. This is real. This is real, folks. And finds research that when the Pope visited Colorado in 1996, he refused to fly over eastern Kansas because this part of Kansas is said to be one of the most unholiest places in the world. Yep. Eastern Kansas is evil. It's one of the most evil places in the entire world, folks. That really should have Stoll. You are now entering Stoll, Kansas, the most evil place in the world. Oh my God! Is there anybody out there that who's watching this that lives in Eastern Kansas? Can you tell me? Is it really the most evil place in the world? The unholiest place, one of the most unholiest places in the world. I mean, you can't make this shit up. It's hilarious. So then you also find out that Monika Schnarre, Miss Lever Hot Pants, is actually in on it too with this Guardians of the Gateway thing. She's actually, I guess, the gateway keeper or some shit. Yeah, she's the gatekeeper. And Rucker Howard's in on it too, the co-pilot. And you have the embarrassing scene at the end where he's just listening near the end of the movie. He's just listening to opera music, and Slade Craven comes in and tells him, "Land the plane. You're gonna land this plane with gunpoint." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do anything. We're gonna die." Then he just shoots himself in the head. I'm like, "Great! Rucker Howard kills himself. Wonderful. That's spectacular." And so, yeah, really, like I said, really useless role. I mean, Rucker Howard says barely any lines, and then just serves to listen to opera music, and then shoot himself in the head at the end of the movie. So then you get the climax of the film, and Slade Craven actually finds his imposter. They get in a fight, which is not the best fight, but it wasn't. I've seen worse. I've seen worse than Kiss Meets Phantom of the Park. And, ends up electrocuting him in an electric chair, which he used as a shock, sort of like a stunt sort of thing with one of the fans. He put him in an electric chair and gave him a jolt, made him think he was getting electrocuted by an electric chair. He's not. It's kind of like Alice Cooper, kind of stuff that Alice Cooper would do. And I can safely say that Jon Mann is about as good an actor as Alice Cooper. Which is the best actor, but he's got a personality, and he generally likes what he's doing, and I have to admit, it was endearing when Jon Mann was on the screen as Slade Craven, not as an imposter, because his acting as the imposter was horrible, but that really wasn't his fault, because it was a different voice, and it sounded like Ben Stiller from Heavyweights. It really did. It sounded like Ben Stiller from Heavyweights, so I'm cracking up, just thinking Ben Stiller from Heavyweights. Perkins guy, in his fucking leotard is taking over the plane. So anyway, get off the scale! Anyway, so yeah, I thought it was pretty, that was funny. And it's just, this stupid, before he gets ready to kick some ass, it's really dumb ass a line of dialogue, where this is his one-liner, this is his big line, for some reason, repeats it twice. Slade Craven, he's like, "All right, let's do the hustle." I'm like, "Do the hustle? What is this, the 70s? Do the hustle. Do the hustle. That fuck. Do the hustle. Like, nobody can make that work. Even if Arnold Schwarzenegger did that with a Commando or some shit, instead of "let's party," he's like, "Let's do the hustle." This would not work. It's stupid. So then Slade does the hustle, kicks his imposter's ass, electrocute. No, he fights the girl. He doesn't electrocute his imposter. He fights Monika Schnarre. She can't move because she's in tight leather pants. So she beats the shit out of her and then electrocutes her in an electric chair. And then he ends up going after his imposter, and they get sort of a fight, and he ends up locking him in a closet pretty much, and then goes in the cockpit, talks to Rucker Howard, he shoots himself. Slade then takes over the controls, and Nick on the other side is using a flight simulator. It's that movie, folks, to somehow teach Slade how to land the plane. And this movie's, every scene of the plane flying is cut from the first movie, so it's stock footage from the first Turbulence. And then when he starts landing the plane, stock footage from the first Turbulence. I think even Turbulence 2 had stock footage, but I thought it was edited better. Here it's just really painfully obvious. And, you know he's going to land the plane, but I like the way it kind of makes it look like makes the audience think that he doesn't land it, because he's like, ah, and lands it, and then, like, the screen goes black and fuzzy and stuff, with the FBI and air traffic controller guys are watching. And then you find out, he's like, woo, we're down! And I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Okay, he didn't die. The plane didn't crash. Good. And then the movie ends basically with Slade Craven cheering on and giving his fans, some love. And that's Turbulence 3, Heavy Metal, where the heavy metal lead singer rocker guy ends up saving the day. Which I didn't mind that part of it. Problem was, the movie was mostly boring. Majority of the film was boring and lackluster, lame, stupid lines of dialogue. Let's do the hustle, Action sequences weren't memorable. A plot that's really stupid. Oh, the Guardians of the Gateway. We're crashing to Kansas, eastern Kansas, because it's the most evil place in the world. And we're going to, because we're going to crash the plane as soon as we get 10,000 followers, which is 10,000 people watching the show. And we're going to crash the plane. And then Satan's going to come out of the ground and things will be good. Just really dumb. And, just really lazy fucking movie. Because a lot of the running time is Craig Sheffer and Gabrielle Anwar fucking wooden board of no-note acting alongside Craig Sheffer acting like some, roadie. Just really being really, getting all giddy over Slade Craven on the other side. You have to expect him to start creaming his pants. Oh, Slade! Ah! And he's wearing a fucking bandana for some reason, and yellow tinted glasses, and a goatee. He's like, see, I'm not the character from the second movie. I'm this guy. I'm Nick. And I'm like, stupid. Just be the same goddamn character. What's the point? And ultimately, that's this movie. What's the point? What is the point of Turbulence 3? There is no point. It's a pointless sequel. There is no need for it. I think Turbulence 2 was enough. They didn't need a third film. It was enjoyable at points, just the times when I saw Slade Craven, because I liked the guy. That's really about it. Everything else is forgettable. Everything else is lame. Everything else about it is lackluster. Even stuff with Slade Craven isn't that great. He's not a great actor. He's not an actor, but I didn't care because he was a likable guy. And I wanted him to win in the end, and I wanted him to make it out alive and save everybody and save the day. And if there's one thing that's genuinely good about this, it's the music. I think the music by Jon Mann and his band and is I think Thick Liquid is the name of their band. It's good. I like their music. I think it's really well done, and either it's not Thick Liquid or it could actually be Slade Craven, because I think he has a Facebook page and it's like Slade Craven. But I like the idea. I just think it could have been executed a little bit better. It could have had a lot more fun with itself. Took itself a little bit too seriously at points where it really shouldn't have. And stay away from the boring ass crap on the computer with Craig Sheffer, the hacker, and the fucking wooden board that is Gabrielle Anwar. And stay on the plane and give us a little more backstory on Slade Craven and make it more about him. But other than that, I really don't know what to say about Turbulence 3. It's not much of a review because it's not much of a movie. There's really not much really to say about Turbulence 3 Heavy Metal, except that it's got heavy metal in it, heavy metal music, it's got a heavy metal rocker, and he ends up saving the day. That's really all that matters when it comes to this movie. And I probably only recommend it if you're a huge Craig Sheffer fan, you're a big fan of heavy metal music or heavy metal movies, or you're just like me, just begrudgingly watching the Turbulence sequels for your channel. But anyway, I really don't know what to say about the films that rated at 5 stars. It's better than the first movie in my opinion, so I didn't like as much the second film. For Slade Craven and for the music and for the premise and for some good laughs and some decent entertainment, I give it 2 out of 5 stars. Not a great movie by any means. It's definitely below average. But I've seen a lot worse than Turbulence 3. That's for sure. I thought the first film was much, much worse. Because I didn't like anybody in that movie. At least I liked Slade. I didn't mind Nick either, even though he was kind of a goofball. Kind of a really a nerd. But that's the point, I guess. But anyway, I really don't know what to say about Turbulence 3, except Thanks for watching my review, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.